Welcome back to the Bear Down Podcast on NCAA Football 14, guys, a.k.a. College Football Revamped. And our Black Bears sitting at 5-1 after a tough week of football. Very close games. Too much for my heart to handle and my blood pressure. We're number 6 in the nation right now. Getting ready to take on number 18 Auburn this week. Another tough matchup for our Black Bears, but in today's video, we'll look back at the two games that we just got done playing, how we ended up 5-1. Also, take a look at stats. We'll take a look at the best plays from the week and get an update from recruiting. So make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're brand new. So we kicked off the week taking on our rivals, the Arkansas Razorbacks, and they made it interesting, boys. We pulled it out 44-41. As you can see, we were down at halftime 20-14, but put up 30 in the second half, and that allowed us to pull away and win the game. Big day from Gabe Perez, 22 of 33, 316 yards. He did throw 4 touchdowns, but there are those interceptions. Again, this has become somewhat of a problem for our Black Bears. Hopefully he can fix that moving forward. On the ground, though, Corey Green is showing why he is one of the better backs in the country. 27 carries, 204 yards, 2 touchdowns. Brandon Bain, 6 for 30. Gabe showing off the legs and the mobility, 6 carries for 49 yards. And then Torian Jack had 1 carry for 3 yards. Out wide, Big Al. Al Flowers led the way, 6 grabs, 81 yards and a touchdown. Ashton Ryan, 5 for 89 and 2 scores. Dominic Foreman, 3 catches, 56 yards and a touchdown. Luke Baker, 2 for 31. Mike Warren, 2 for 30. Corey had 1 for 6. Adam Lawson, 1 for 16. Holloway had 1 for 7. The defense is having a tough time. I feel like they're in a rut right now. Chris Johnson, though, had a big day, 12 tackles and 2 TFLs. Jonathan Thomas, 7 tackles. He also had an interception. Lumpkin had 4 tackles. Payne had 4. You had Morris, Wilson, Smith, and Fawarda each with 3. You could add Robinson and Lester in on that as well. 2 sacks on the day, 1 from Wilson and the other is from Hester, the 2 defensive tackles. We had the 1 interception from Jonathan Thomas. I just felt like this team, man, the defense isn't really coming to play the past couple weeks. I know we are young, but if we're going to make a run at this national championship, they're going to have to wake up. We almost gave up 500 yards of total offense to the Razorbacks. They ran for 226 yards, threw for 270. Maybe stat of the day, we were 10 for 10 on third down, and we held the Razorbacks 6-10. Again, 3 turnovers from our Black Bears, 1 turnover from Arkansas. If we're gonna push to get this natty bid, this defense is gonna have to wake up. And then we hit the road to take on Georgia Tech, and this was another tough game for us. Trailing at halftime yet again, 31-26. We allowed the Jackets to put up 24 points in the second quarter. We were finally able to pull away, putting up 22 points in the second half. Gabe, 25 of 35, 375, a touchdown, and an interception on the day. But again, it was the ground game. Corey Green put the offense on his back, 27 carries, 178 yards, and 4 rushing touchdowns. Brandon Bain, 3 for 24 and a score, and Mitchell came in late and got a rush for 1 yard. Out wide, Mike Warren led the way, 8 catches for 96 yards, but Ashton Ryan had a monster day, 7 catches, 145 yards, and a touchdown. Luke Baker, 4 for 47. Albert Flowers, 3 for 52. Dominic Foreman had 2 catches for 22 yards, and Corey Green, 1 for 13. But again, the defense was just non-existent. Chris Johnson, 10 tackles, 5 TFLs on the day. Jonathan Thomas had 7. Fawarda with 6, and you had Smith with 5. Turner, Holmes, and Robinson each with 3. No sacks on the day, but our 2 freshman corners each had an interception. Robinson and Lumpkin both picked one off. But again, this defense, man, it was just a rough going for our Black Bears defense. We gave up 536 yards to Georgia Tech, 197 yards on the ground, 339 yards through the air. They were 6 of 10 on third down, perfect on fourth down, and perfect inside the red zone. 2 turnovers apiece for both teams. I mean, it was almost 700 yards of total offense for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, but We were able to hold on by a field goal and get the dub. Taking a look at the latest polls, and things are starting to get a little interesting. Texas still holding on to that number 1 spot. Bama is now number 2. Michigan State is 3. Missouri in at 4. And then you've got a bunch of one-loss teams here. Washington is in at 5. Arkansas A&M is 6. Stanford 4-2. They're sitting at 7. Southern Miss is 8. You've got Florida State in at 9. And then Arizona fell 6 spots after losing to Stanford down to 10. Michigan is 11. You got USC in at 12. Mississippi State is 13. Louisiana Lafayette at 14. Navy in at 15. You got Georgia 16. Air Force is 17. Auburn 18. Georgia Tech 19. Clemson is 20. Wisconsin is 21. Tulane is 22. You got Tennessee in at 23. Pittsburgh is 24. And then Florida rounds out your top 25. So this is setting up for an interesting end to the season, man. We play Bama second to last game of the year, hoping that we can pull that one off. Michigan State, they still have a pretty tough schedule ahead. They've got Indiana on the road. They go to the Big House, Ohio State, Rutgers, Penn State, and then the Terps. So that could be a loss there. Missouri is a surprise team for me, man, in the Big 12. They might be able to run the table. They only got Texas Tech, Kansas, Kansas State, Iowa State, and A-State left. And then Washington would be the other team we need to be on the lookout for. They still have Cal, Arizona State, Stanford, Arizona, Colorado, Oregon, and Washington State. So we're going to need some help if we plan on creeping up up the rankings into the top 2 spots. But I believe that some of these teams still have some losses that could be coming up here real soon. Here's a look at the SEC West. And again, Bama is on top, undefeated in conference play, 6-0 overall. Then you've got us in at 5-1, 3-1 inside the conference. Mississippi State is 3rd. Auburn 4th, who we play this week. Ole Miss, LSU, and Arkansas round out the division. Here's a look at the SEC and all. Bama, Georgia, 1-2. We could be playing Georgia in the SEC championship. Then there's us at 3. Mississippi State is 4. Tennessee 5. Florida 6. Kentucky 7. Auburn is 8th. Georgia Tech in at 9. Ole Miss is 10. LSU 11. Arkansas 12. You got Georgia State in at 13. And then South Carolina is 14th. So again, I'm not too worried about the SEC. As long as we keep winning our games leading up to that Bama game and we beat Bama, we're good. We should be in. But that's tougher. That's easier said than done. The way this defense has been playing, the way this team has been looking, we're honestly looking like we've been sleepwalking into these games, and then we're trying to flip a switch once we get down at halftime. I would love for one game, maybe more, if this team would just come out and play dominant football from beginning to end. Taking a look at the stats through 6 games, Gabe Perez, 2,074 yards, 16 touchdowns. He's got 5 interceptions so far on the year. The ground, Corey Green is starting to separate himself in this pack, man. 121 carries, 781 yards with 14 touchdowns. Brandon Bain, 36 carries, 158 and 4 scores. Corey Green, we had some concerns about the running back position coming into this season, but Corey has really shown that he is a great weapon for us. He's really put this offense on his back and carried us and helped us out to get to 5-1. Out wide, Mike Warren leading the team with catches, 37 for 580 and 4 touchdowns. Ashton Ryan, 34 grabs for 666 yards and 6 scores. You got Albert Flowers starting to come along here. 18 catches, 294 and 2 scores. Dominic Foreman has 15 grabs for 245 and 3 touchdowns. And Luke Baker, 9 catches for 101 yards and a score. Again, the wide receivers are playing great. Gabe is definitely spreading the ball around. You got Kyle Holloway down here with 5 catches for 80 yards. Corey Green, 5 for 55. Brandon Bain, 3 for 13. Adam Lawson has 2 for 33. And Torian Jack has 2 for 8. We can't seem to get Albert the ball. He's probably one of our best receivers on this team, best receivers that we've had on campus and since Trey Morgan maybe. We've got to find a way to get him the ball, move him around a little bit, maybe drop him in the slot, let him become a matchup nightmare because 18 catches through 6 games, it's not bad, but it's also not good. When you have a great weapon like him, you need to be able to feed him the ball. Defense side of the ball, Chris Johnson on his way to 100 tackles this year, 61 solos, 14 TFLs. You got Jonathan Thomas, 44 tackles, 5 TFLs. Brian Smith, 34 tackles. You got Donnell Swan, 22 tackles and 2 sacks. Justin Payton has 20 tackles. Christopher Warder with 18. Anthony Robinson with 16. Andrew Morris, the freshman, 15 tackles, 2 TFLs. Trey Turner has 11. So does Kyle Wright. And Kevin Smith has 10. So does Jeff Lumpkin. And Leon Hester has 8. Sack department, getting after the quarterback a little bit. With Paul Wilson, he's got 3. So does Leon Hester, the 2 big D tackles. Kyle Browning and Donnell Swan each with 2. And then Austin and Trey Turner each with 1. Interception department, the free safety. The captain, man, Jonathan Thomas, he's got 3 INTs on the year. Donnell Swan has 2. Payne, Lumpkin, Holland, Chris Johnson, and for Warda, you could throw Anthony Robinson in there as well, each with 1 interception. We forced 3 fumbles so far and only recovered none. And defensive touchdowns, we've got 3 defensive touchdowns, 1 from Forwarda, Swan, and Jonathan Thomas. Kicking game, listen, this true freshman, Dustin Wood, has come on and done a great job kicking for us. 6 of 6, a long of 49, and he's perfect on extra points. I feel like we've called on him the past couple weeks to come in and, make these kicks for us when we really need them. And he's done a great job. And then you've got Ryan Barnes as the punter, 7 punts for 305 yards. Jake Payne, kickoff return on his way to over 1,000 yards, returning as a true freshman, 29 returns for 899 and a score. And then you've got him in the punt game, 6 for 48. Taking a look at the college football leaders right now, Gabe Perez just dominating right now, throwing the ball, 2,074 yards. He's the leading quarterback as far as yards, followed by Ingram from Alabama, Dotson from Kansas, Flanagan from Michigan State, and Fritz from Vanderbilt. On the ground, Adams from Wisconsin, 925 yards. Missouri's running back Schneider has 865. Freeman, the running back from Arkansas, with 857. Then there's Corey Green with 781. He's in 4th. And Williams from Baylor has 771 yards. Receiving yards, Ashton Ryan leading the country with 666 yards, followed by Moss from Purdue. He's got 647. Mike Warren, the slot receiver, 3rd on this list with 580. McDonald from UTEP, he's got 574. And Brown from UAB with 537. Tackle-wise, Chris Johnson leading the nation in tackles with 61, followed by Jonathan Thomas, our free safety, with 44. Brian Smith at corner has 34. Jenkins from Pittsburgh, he's got 27. And Walker from UNC, he's got 27 as well. QB sack department, Mullins from Marshall leading the way with 7.5 sacks, followed by Buffalo's Owen, he's got 5.5. Hodge from Miami of Ohio has 5.5 as well. So does Andrews from Appalachian State. And Snyder from North Carolina. Paul Wilson is 70th on this list with 3. In the interception department, Brown from Arkansas, he's got 4. Garner from Missouri, he's got 4 as well. So does Johnson from San Diego State. Bird from New Mexico, and Richardson from Indiana. And then Jonathan Thomas is 12th on this list with 3. So it's time to look back, fellas. We didn't do it last week, but we'll bring them into this week. The top 5 plays from the past 2 weeks, kicking things off with number 5. All right, 3rd and 5. We come out twin tight ends, twins to the left. And there's Ashton Ryan in the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Come on, man. Here's number 4. Step up, 2nd and 12. 4 wide. Check down, nothing there. Watch the comebacks. Lumpkin! Finally! Are you serious? There's 3 guys right there. He can't block 1. Number 3. Here to the right, Chris. No screen. Payne with the pick. Come on, get away. Get away, Jake. Come on, Jake. Don't you get walked. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Number 2. Come on. Come on, Payne. All the way, Payne. All the way, Payne, to the house. Let's go, sir. Tutty Bears. Jake Payne. Ugh. And the top play from the past 2 weeks is, all right, 3rd and 7. 4 wide trips right. Pass. Sit there. Yep. Nothing. Fight. Pick. Let's go, Florida. Let's go, Corey. Come on, man. We got a lot of running room. Woo! Woo! Come on, Florida. To the house, baby. To the house. Yes, sir. Florida to the crib. Touchdown, Bears. Woo! To the recruiting trail we go, and things are starting to heat up for this class, man. Let's start things off at the top of the board with Edward O'Connor, the 5-star athlete from Texas. The race for him is starting to tighten up, man. The Black Bears are number 1 on his list, but Kansas is right behind us. For the strong safety, Anthony Peterson, the number 1 strong safety in this class from Wisconsin, Western Michigan has taken over the lead by 300. That's tough, man. Look at the other schools. Michigan, Florida State, Texas starting to fall behind. You got Lewis Brown, the big tackle from Florida, number 8 in this class. Nebraska, Michigan, Bama, all in front of A&M right now. Same could be said for Aaron Thomas, the outside linebacker from Texas. Nebraska is on top of A&M, but by a short margin. You got Bo Moore, the middle linebacker from Oklahoma, 5'11", 239. I'm a big fan of this kid. Hopefully we'll be able to pursue him and get him on campus here real soon. Nebraska and Wyoming on top of A&M. Will Slater, the big defensive end from Mississippi, number 2 in this class. Mississippi State and Southern Miss starting to pull away from A&M. You got Michael Barber, the 4-star athlete from Alaska. Our Black Bears starting to pull away from everybody. Washington, Michigan, Texas, Auburn falling behind. Here's a new player added to the board. This is Jacob Cox from Ohio. 5-star athletes, or 5-star prospect, 6'1", 195. We're ahead of Notre Dame, Alabama, Georgia, and Auburn. And this kid got speed, man. 94 speed, 92 acceleration. Great hands, great route running. The release is solid. Spec catches there. 81 carrying. We're a fan of his because of that 94 speed. We could put this kid in the slot and just let him do what he does best. Here's the corner that we're looking at from California, James Ware, 6'2", 185. He's the number 85 corner in the class. And again, you might look at it and be like, oh, he's a 62 overall, but you know what? He could be a project. He's got some solid traits, though. 89 speed, 83 acceleration, 75 man coverage, and 65 press. I would say give him a couple years to develop into the program, and he could be a solid player for the Black Bears in the future. Another corner to keep your eye on, Dennis Harris from Nebraska. He's 6 foot 190, the number 17 corner in this class. Again, another project for our Black Bears, 91 speed, 95 acceleration, 90 agility. Solid man coverage with 83, solid zone as well with 81. Again, we're looking for players that we could develop into our program and could turn into stars for us. Last player on our board that we're on the fence about, this is Chris Lumpkin. No relation to Jeff Lumpkin, already on the team. 6 foot 203, free safety from Louisiana, 3-star prospect. This kid, pretty solid stats, man. 84 speed, 89 agility, 84 acceleration, 70 tackles, 70 hit power. I can envision him playing more of a linebacker position, sub-linebacker, 6 foot 203. He's a little bit slow to play safety, but if we move him down to like an outside linebacker, I think he could be a solid player for us. Time to take a look at the top classes in the nation, and I'm actually surprised by this. Our Black Bears, the number 1 class so far this year, with 1 5-star, 5 4-stars, and 1 3-star. That's 7 total prospects. Washington is right behind us. Oklahoma's in at 3. Fresno State is 4. Florida is 5. Pittsburgh in at 6. South Carolina is 7. BYU in at 8. Boston College is 9. And then Syracuse rounds out your top 10. But again, it's still earlier in the season, and you know some of these big-name schools still have some big-name players on their boards. And once they get committed, I feel like you're going to see more of those usual suspects, your Bamas, your Clemsons, Ohio States, teams like that. I don't know about y'all, but seeing our schedule and having that L right there in the middle, it just feels so weird. We've got a gauntlet of teams still to come for our Black Bears. Starting off this week at home is homecoming versus Auburn. Then we hit the road to take on LSU. Then back home again to take on Mississippi State. Then we have the rivalry game, the Battle of the Natural State, taking on A-State. We hit the road to take on Bama. And then we've got Georgia State for senior night. This Auburn game has me a little concerned. If we're not able to stop the run, we might have a problem. LSU, same thing, man. Even though LSU is having a down year, LSU always plays us super tough. Mississippi State, this should be a fun game for our Black Bears. And then, of course, the rivalry game against A-State. If it's anything like the Arkansas game, oh, my gosh, it's going to be sweaty. We can't look too far ahead, though. I know we've got Bama coming up in less than a little bit over a month, but we cannot get too far ahead of ourselves. We got to focus one game at a time and get ready for Auburn. And that's where our focus shifts, man. The Auburn Tigers come into the den 3-2 on the season, and our Black Bears look to keep winning and hopefully keep their hopes alive for another national championship bid. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're brand new. Don't forget to ring that bell, join the Noti Squad, and make sure you guys check out those links down in my description. Follow your boy on Facebook, Twitter, and IG. And come through and join the Discord fam for exclusive content, and we'll talk from the den when we take on the 18th ranked Auburn Tigers. Have a great day, guys. 2 fingers in the air. Peace. Big thank you to all the members of the channel and the Patreons. If you would like to become a member or a Patreon, hit the links down below in my description.